like that. Okay. All right. This one of the most underrated songs by Prince, I thought, was this song right here. Oh, here I go again, falling in love all over. Ooh, the cycle never ends. You just pray it don't get burned. Oh my God, I love that, man. That's if you guys don't know, the Sirius Satellite Radio is having an all Prince channel for the month of May. It's on channel 30 if you guys get a chance. And they play, the usual, back in when he, was really hot with the 1999. And it's great to hear all those old songs from like 1999 and Let's Go Crazy and off of Purple Rain, Let's Go Crazy. But man, songs like this. Off the B-sides, his greatest hits. And I never heard Pink Cashmere until the greatest hits came out. And this song was so good. It's just so smooth, Prince, man. So I thought it was appropriate to play it. So I was glad. So, I like that. So, yeah, man. Prince, I'm glad that he's finally getting his due with his own channel, which I thought was great. And it's overdue. But anyway. For some reason, I wanted to come in with that one. And so I wanted to come in with that one. And also with I love downtown, man. We got guys banging on the window downtown. Can he hear the music outside? He can hear the music outside. He can? Yeah. Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I love downtown, man. Downtown is great. I mean, it's because you get the characters, But and also, what's going on? I'm gonna have a great guest on here in a little bit. I can't wait to interview him. But we got some of the sanctions. The thing, like we're being furloughed. We got the thing lifted, right? So they got some of the restaurants you can go into, which I still don't trust that. I really don't. I mean, I'm going to be like that for a while, I think. I mean, I still wear my mask everywhere I go, except for here, obviously. But I still wear my mask everywhere I go. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's weird, but I guess we need the getting out in public. I guess people definitely need it job wise, but man, it's like. It's just it's the weirdest time we've ever been in, and I don't know. But I am catching up on my Netflix movies. If you guys get a chance, see the movie Time to Hunt. I saw this last night, and I put a review up on my YouTube channel. Did you see the review? It's a Korean movie, and just like Parasite was a Korean movie. Also, it's like I don't know if it's whatever, but they all start off kind of slow, and when they get you, man, they got you. And it's about this. I don't like to tell too much about the movie because I want people to find out on their own. But basically, it's these kids, and they're trying to find themselves. And one gets out of prison. You find out apparently they stole a lot of money, but then the money ran out basically, and so they want to make this big heist. And they want to knock over this big, and they're basically not really losers, but they're going nowhere. And then so this guy who gets out of prison wants to knock over this gambling establishment, and he runs the ire of this basically a hitman. They hired him to find out who did it. And man, let me tell you the suspense in this movie is great. It's like I said, it's like an anaconda, man. You're like watching it, oh, it's a nice thing. Oh, this motherfucker got me. And that's what that movie is, man. It's a good movie. The suspense is great in that movie. It's about 2 hours and 14 minutes. And then the subplot with that movie was incredible. I don't know it's something about foreign movies I love more. I don't know what it is. There's something about a foreign movie I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They're not all like great movies, but the ones I watch, at least, they're just you gotta watch them, man. I like the Korean movies, Spanish movies. I watched a couple Italian movies, but I'm really a big Spanish movie fan. For some reason, I like what they do, the sense of realism in their movies, and like they take their time. If you get a chance on Netflix, go watch some of the foreign movies. They're really good movies, man. So anyway. So what else have I've been doing this way? I've done some podcasts. I couldn't get I tried to do a podcast last night, or it was some kind of different. I don't know why all these streaming these things came in. Like I barely learned how to do Zoom, and there was another one last night, and I didn't get it right, and I was when the guy said, "Hey, B.T, are you there?" I said, "Yeah," and he heard me. And I turned my computer, I turned my iPad around, and I lost him that quick, and it was done. And I felt so like a piece of shit because, I didn't know who to talk to. He said he wasn't computer savvy either, and then we couldn't get it back. He could see me, but he couldn't hear me. And so, yeah, man, I don't know. For one, I thought it was just Skype. First, it was just Skype. Do you remember the old days when you had to have a webcam? Do you remember those days, Wyatt? You actually had to buy a separate webcam and you hooked into the side of your computer. Okay, well, just like that then. We don't act like I'm ancient, like I'm Fred Flintstone here, man. I'm the black Fred Flintstone. No, but yeah, it was just like that. You put that on a computer. Yeah, and then it incorporated, and then now, this is weird, but I had to go to this. But I got this email from this guy years ago. I gotta go back before I go forward. Years ago, in my room, out of nowhere, the light on my computer came on like it was videotaping me. And I was like, what? And I wouldn't touch anything. This is weird. And then it just goes off, okay? This is at least 3-4 years ago. And so about a month ago, I get an email from this guy saying, he goes, I know your password is this, which it was for a while back in the day. And he goes, and I know you've been going to these sites. And if you don't give me this amount of money, I'm going to send an email, whatever, to all your friends on your contact list. This guy was saying it to you? Yeah, the email said this. He said, he's extorting me. He basically says, I know what you've been looking at on your site. And he goes, by the way, you have good taste, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, but if you don't give me this amount of money, I'm going to send this videotape of what you've been watching to all your people on your contact list. And honestly, I go, why? And he, for him to get my password like that, I mean, he was spot on with that. And I was like, oh, man. And then I swear to God, like everything else I do, I go, oh, man, I forgot to get back to that guy. And I just erased the email. I forgot. I mean, I was like going through emails and I go, oh, my God. And I thought about calling the FBI or contacting them. And then, like the scatterbrain I am, I just forgot. And then deleting it and keep my fingers crossed, like, hope nobody gets, like an email. Huh? When did that happen? This happened, man. This was about 4 weeks ago. Yeah, but he was spot on. So he went. So I wonder if that was him who went through my computer and turned it on. It's weird, man. It really is. So he's ready. He's ready. Okay, but yeah. So, yeah, that was. It kind of bothered me a little bit, man. That he could go into my email and find out what I was watching. But the fact he said I had good taste, I was like, oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. But still, I don't know. It just worried me. So I wonder, can I contact the FBI from that? Oh, there he is. Oh, look at him.
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
There he is. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. See, it always throws me off because Wyatt goes, okay, we'll bring him in at a certain time. And so I'm like, oh, I got to talk until he comes in. And then so I'm like, I wasn't ready for that part. So I was like just rambling or kind of rambling. But it is true. Somebody thinks trying to extort me. But anyway, let's get to the man of the hour. Man, let me tell you something.
I like that padding. It looks like a padding behind you. Like you're in like an
insane asylum?
Exactly, yeah. It fits. That fits. That definitely fits.
Yes, it does. Hey, for people who don't know, this guy I'm talking to now, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This guy, first of all, let me give him his accolades, and they are very worthy accolades. This guy was voted Showtime's funniest person in America. I mean, this is long years ago. This is before everybody had cable. So he was voted Showtime's funniest person. He was voted Showtime's funniest person in America. He did
4 people on the earth at that time,
and they all shared it.
Exactly.
And he's been on A&E. He's been on B.E.T. He was Showtime Comic of the Month. And I remember when you won that Showtime's funniest person in America. I remember that. You were skinnier, and I think you had glasses on, didn't you? Didn't you have glasses?
Yeah, I still wear glasses, but I didn't have them on during that time.
Okay, and then and you headlined, and this is recently, you headlined the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Let me tell you something, man. You don't get your just due for what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lewis Johnson Jr., a friend, a fellow colleague, and I mean from the bottom of my heart. And what I appreciate about you, Lou, man, is that it takes me back old school, and that I feel like now in comedy, there's nobody I can do the dozens with or just rag on, and we know it's all fun, it's all good. I don't have that now, and I just thought about that with you when I was looking you up and I know everything. I'll go, we could do that. We could talk shit about you, like, man, this next guy, he was voted the funniest person in America, but there was only 4 TVs that had comedy,
and none of that really matters. We know that because it all happens once you get on stage. No, it like I just watched Seinfeld's newest special.
Yeah, yeah, it came out real quiet. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, and he said it himself. He goes, "You think I want to be up here grinding out another one of these?
Yes.
You guys don't care about me, and I don't care about you."
Yeah, he cocky. I mean, he's a arrogant little but he keeps it in check. But if you really listen to what he says between the lines, Seinfeld's really kind of arrogant.
Dude, well written stuff though.
But
It's tight, well written stuff.
But he deserves it. It's like, if you watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, they showed Seinfeld in the locker room, and Phil Jackson kind of politely kicked him out. But it's like those two they're slightly arrogant, but they're the best. I mean, I cite, and I love what you did in the background. The greatest comedy album ever, that Wanted right there, that's product placement. So I say Richard Pryor is my favorite, as far as, one of the greatest of all time.
I had a choice. I had that. I had Moms Mabley. I had Dick Gregory. I had a couple other people, but my first three choices to place back there was
that one right
Richard,
there.
Moms Mabley, or Dick Gregory. So yeah.
That album right there. I mean, first to me, as far as just raw funny, I say That Nigga's Crazy was just funny. But
that was ribs. This one is Rib Spreader though. He opened it up.
That one was where
here's everything.
Well, you know how Louis C.K. says, go deeper and go deep. And this is the maturation of the writing. This is when he went to his feelings. This is when he went and everything. I mean, it was longer and drawn out, but it was, but not in a bad way. It was just so beautiful the way he did it, man. I mean, because That Nigga's Crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was great, but it was club comedy at its best. To me, it was, and he did different things.
It wasn't as even as this one is.
That one right there.
That Nigga's Crazy had some great bits in it. It was raw and it was stuff he'd been doing for a while. But this one was even all the way through. I listen to That Nigga's Crazy. I go, okay, that bit could have been done, a little more fleshed out.
Right.
But this thing, that's crazy.
I cite him as one of my, idols or whatever growing up, but also Seinfeld. I remember watching Seinfeld on the Tonight, and I never knew his name. I just remember on the weekends, my mom and dad let me stay up as late as I wanted to Friday and Saturday. So I would watch, and it was always comedy I love watching. So I watched Johnny Carson, and then I would watch Letterman, and then I don't know if of course you remember, you're like 80 years old. So I remember watching I remember watching Don Kerser. Go ahead. That's the COVID. That's the COVID kicking in. Oh shit.
Hold up. No, wait.
Nice knowing you, Lou. Nice knowing you.
Hold up.
That was not. Oh, that was good, Lou.
Okay, I feel a lot better now. All right. What were you saying?
Well played, my man. That was beautiful. Beautiful. I remember watching Don Kerser's rock concert, a midnight special, and I never knew when they were going to come on because we didn't have the TV guy. We just went by.
Yeah.
I wonder what's on.
They taped those at midnight, actually.
Yeah, but man, I remember though watching Seinfeld on the Tonight Show, and he did a bit about a horse, and he said they got that big eye, and they got the ong, and he kept doing it till I literally was crying. I had tears come out of my eye, and I was holding my stomach. And I'm a kid, and I just remember going, I got to get this guy's name, because every time I watch the Tonight Show, I go, hope a comedian's on, and he became one of my favorites. But I never knew his name. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get his name now. And then when it said Jerry, I go, from here on out, I'm gonna know his name. It said Jerry Seinfeld. And after that, I was the biggest fan, and him. And actually Robert Klein. Remember Robert Klein? I can't stop my leg.
I got a Robert Klein one in there too.
Of course you do, Lou.
I can't stop my leg.
Of course you do. You probably got a bootleg of Jesus doing an open mic somewhere in Jerusalem.
Nah, I only got his when he started getting developed. I heard about him though.
JC and the boys.
Yeah. I got Moses stuff too. I got the lost commandment tablet. I got that one too.
Moses probably has a dedication to you on his scroll. I mean, that's how old you are. Honestly, how many years in the business?
He dropped it on the way down the mountain.
How many years in the business you been in, man? To be honest, how many years?
Man, this is like 35, man.
Oh.
I think at least 35. My son's 31. So yeah, it's been like the 35 years pretty much, man. And we've seen everything, bro. You have seen. I remember you as a skinny kid with the upper body build, but you weren't working on your legs.
Fuck you, Lou. Fuck you, man. I mean that.
And
Fuck
our
you.
friend, David Gray.
Yes. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace, David.
Gray.
God, that hurt.
And I remember us going to dinner at David's house, and his dad just embarrassed the hell out of him because his dad would just say whatever because his dad was a slightly racist, but we were all eating, and his mom had laid out a big spread for us, and BT's just eating.
That's what I do, man. If you invite me over to eat, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to act like,
Yeah, it's not nice. It's not a nice thing to see.
Can you hear now?
But I remember that, and he was just, you just eating, and his dad goes, boy, you guys sure can eat. Hey, you like watermelon? And me and David kind of froze. But BT didn't miss a beat. BT just go, yep, and just keeps eating.
Because I knew where he was going with that, but it's weird because it's like, I don't think he meant it with any malice, and I was hungry.
You were hungry. Yeah, come on. When you got BT eats with a knife and fork and still licks his fingers.
No, it's a true story. It's a true story. And this happened a couple years ago. I was really hungry, which is a bad spot for me to be at a restaurant. I mean, I was really hungry. I was starving. You don't understand. I was halfway through my meal, and the waitress goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your silverware." And I was halfway through my meal, and that's a true story. And I was like, I was like, oh.
But that happened a lot of times when we were on the road together.
And I went, oh. By the way, my producer is 19 years old, and I had him listen to your story, dude. This dude is you understand? I love this guy. He's 19, right? He's the kind of white dude. He'll go into the hood and tutor black kids, right? Tell them about Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, and then the cousin will come in like, "Yo, white boy, you want to play some ball?" And he'll go out and bust 30 on their ass, and then leave and say, "Have a good day, guys." And you'll go,
"Oh,
damn,
these white men can't jump
this dude." I'm telling producer? You, this dude, man. I'm listening to him about investing advice. I'm like, "So what should I do?" "I'll talk to you about that later, BT. But you need to diversify your funds." And, I mean, this dude. I'm telling you,
did he make you? Did he make you download Acorn onto your phone so you could start investing your pennies and your nickels and your dimes?
No, he don't like Acorn. He said, "He goes, no, I don't like Acorn. BT, I'll discuss that with you later."
What app should we take? Should we listen to?
Well, we'll talk about that later. It's my show. But he listens. He's my brother. I listen to him, man. He texted me last week. And like he was mad at me, but he wasn't mad. He was just being constructive. But he was like, he basically said, "Hey, motherfucker, I did all that work for you, and you're fucking it up." And I was like, "My bad." And then I sort of got 2 days later. He goes, "Hey, man, I hope they didn't come off wrong." And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm black. I'm used to that. I'm used to the motherfucker. Look, motherfucker, what I meant was." So I was like, cool, but it was so funny because he texted me back like 2 days later. He goes, "Wyatt, I hope they didn't come out bad."
Wyatt, just be glad that you're not of drinking age yet, so you don't have to be around BT when he starts drinking. Because BT has a thing. His body fat isn't that much. Well, this is back a few years ago. His body fat is like that. So when he drinks, it goes straight into his bloodstream. And it comes up here, and you can be across the room, and it sounds like BT's right here.
I tell people,
remember Vegas? Yeah. We were in Vegas, and we all four of us got drunk off our ass, and BT's across the room. It's in the middle of a karaoke
in
bar.
Vegas, a karaoke bar in Vegas with the slot machines, and you can still hear me.
Yeah, we took over the karaoke bar after our show, the four of us, and we're drunk. We're over there drunk. And you just, Luke, hey, dude, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, B, what is it? Hey, man, this is some good ass drinks.
but that's true. But at the same time, when I drink, I'm a happy drunk. I get happier and I get louder, which is, I'm already loud anyway, but I get louder.
Yeah. So why do you have 2 or 3 mics there? You just got.
Hey, don't worry about it, man. Just listen to the question. I want you to answer the question. Don't worry about what I do.
See?
And by the way.
This is us all the time.
Yeah,
here.
But by the way, what and you mentioned it before, and I was going to bring this in later, but we were in a group together, and honestly, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. The way the world is going now, I think what we did is needed now more than ever. And for those people who don't know, me, Lou, Me, Lewis Johnson Jr. here, this is a great comic I'm talking to now, along with a comedian named Vince Morris and Billy D. Washington. We were in a group called the Sellout Comedy Tour. We call it Sellout because each of us, we were African American comics, black comics, but we also worked mainstream rooms. And it sounds like nothing, but that's a big thing. Like a lot of black comics, they just work the black rooms, or they have the urban night, quote unquote, black night.
People get jealous of you when you can work both.
Yeah, now and sometimes, and some black comics would be like, "Hey man, good for y'all." Some of them had a little animosity toward us, but we were some of the few that worked both rooms. And what we did was we all four go on stage, and we have a little. 5 minutes, tell about who we are as a person, and then we come on, do a 15-minute, our set be 15 minutes, we have a little break, and then we write down, ask a black man anything you wanted to ask, but we're afraid of. During the show,
people are getting these questions, they get a little slip of paper that says, ask a black man anything you wanted to know, but we're afraid to ask. And during the show, the ushers are going to the theater, picking up the slips. And meanwhile, and they keep bringing them back to us, so we get a chance to look at those questions in the back, and we got some wild questions. And at the end of the show, one of the guys who walked back out and reintroduced everybody else, and we all sat back in our chairs, and I would pass out the slips to everybody, and I'd always tell people, remember this, and I always say,
yes,
we're not going to answer all of these, but we are going to read them just so you can know the kind of people you're sitting next to.
Exactly. I remember that, man. Yeah. And the thing about that, there was never any ringers, and everything was off the cuff. And what we did, and I know I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm not going to lie, man. What we did was... honestly, it was so, I don't say groundbreaking, but in a way it kind of was, because I never seen anything like that before. I mean, because no offense to people who are urban comics, who are real urban comics. I mean, the Kings of Comedy, yeah, they did what they did, but they didn't do it how we did it. And in the sense of, it was interactive, where people could ask the questions, where instead of heckling, we say, you know what, ask these questions here. We don't know who you are. And they were honest. And the one I remember, and I'll ask you, I'll have you get time to figure out which one your favorite one. My favorite one ever was we were in Park City, Utah. I don't know if you remember this one, Park City, Utah, and the guy said, and the question was, why does my dad hate you guys so much? And I remember that, and there was that one black dude in the audience, remember, and he got up and left on that one, and then we were like, why'd you leave? And these are your people. These aren't ringers. We're doing this off the cuff. I mean, like sometimes it would work, sometimes it didn't. I mean, we had shows where we went too long on a subject, and we realized that. But the great thing about you is, and I'll get to this, is that you tape every show, so we were able to look at it and go, okay, you know what? We shouldn't go too long on a subject. We should do this and that, and stick it basically like Ali, stick and move. And so, what was your favorite question on that from
my
Sellout?
favorite? I actually posted it. I had two of them, but my favorite, I posted it a few days ago. I think I took it down. I posted it on Facebook. The Yoda woman.
What was that?
We were in Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay.
At the Cleveland Improv.
Okay.
And the question was, why I not be having a man? Remember that?
I remember that. Why I
not be having a man? And it just went off from there.
Yeah.
Billy jumped in and goes, first of all, you yelled out sentence structure.
Yeah.
And Vince said, you know what? After reading this bullshit, I'm gonna go and get this fat ass white girl, right? and then Billy jumped in, was he says, that question I wrote, right? Because I had just jumped up and said, after we dogging her out, she's standing up going, that's me, and Billy goes, I question that wrote. And then we just went off from there, man. It was. That was the craziest one.
And to be honest, that was, I think for a period in life, I look forward to that more than anything, because people don't realize, and I'm gonna get to it, when you do this job for so long. I don't know about you when you first start out or what your goals were, but I mean, we all look at the fame. At least, which I don't think it's bad. We look at, okay, getting up here, having your own special, traveling around, because you look at the HBO specials and you go, that's what I'm gonna do, and then. Okay, you're getting stuff here and little TV, and like, oh, I'm on my way. And then you reach that point to where it's like, and it kind of plateaus. And then, I don't know about you, a depression kind of sets in where it's like, okay, it's a job. And then it becomes the grind. Then it becomes, okay, I got to drive this 12, 13 hours to get this $300. Hopefully it's $300 if I can sell this merch. And then you're in some kind of shitty hotel and you go, man, I hope nobody breaks in and tries to rape me. You know what I mean? And then, or wonder where I'm at. You wake up, you literally go, where am I at now? And I remember having, and that's one of the scariest feelings in the world, waking up like, where am I at? I remember, I don't know where I was, but I remember waking up and I was like, what city am I in? And it's just scary. And then when Sellout came along, cause we did that because there was nobody like us doing what we were going to do. There was no voice for like the mainstream black comic. And it sounds like nothing, but there is no place for, I mean, everybody likes the urban comic. I mean, at least back in the day. Now, not so much. Now there's a whole new generation, which I think is great. I love it. But back when we were doing it, there was no room for the mainstream black comic. And what sucked was the rooms we'd go in, they were mainly white, so you couldn't, I remember like even, I never was really an urban comic or, ghetto, whatever you want to call it. But I remember we talk about stuff that the little topics that, only black people would really grasp, and you do it to a white audience and they wouldn't understand what you're talking about. And so you kind of had to keep it kind of mainstream. And I tell you what, and then we had that urban night and the club owner would have you open up or do whatever you go, and they would eat my ass alive. Cause I had nothing like, hey guys, how about that Pearl Jam, huh? And I mean, they were like, Pearl Jam.
I got quacked one time. I got quacked. And I think it was it Little Rock, Arkansas? It was someplace, and dude, because I can't relate to a lot of the hard times that you're talking about because I lucked out.
Yeah,
I lucked out. I got that Showtime stuff and all that, and that just kind of boosted me into some different clubs. But I had that moment. I got quacked. You remember they used to fly you in if they wanted you to do radio.
They didn't fly us in, but we had to fly our own ass in. They flew you in. Did you?
Well, yeah, I would get a little extra money, right?
Oh, look at you, Mr. Big Time. Okay.
No, here's a 30-year ticket we're gonna give you.
And we got a crop duster. He's gonna pick you up in a field outside of Pueblo. Yeah. Be there. Yeah. Don't be late. Yeah.
And while you're there, take this bushel. And fill it up. But,
yeah.
But what happened was, remember they used to fly you in the day before.
Right.
They wanted you to get up and do radio for the first day of the week.
Right.
Well, I flew in the day before, and there was Brother Night.
Oh, Urban Night, and which is.
And there was and black people. We can't have like just steak.
Yeah.
We want to have a whole plate of some stuff. So before the stand up, it was poetry slam.
Oh.
So which was probably, I think it was sponsored by somebody who owned a dress shop in the area, and a dress and a hair shop. So you have like a poet would go up,
right?
And then the guy would get on the mic and he'd go, and now for the next piece of fashion. And so a woman would come out in a piece of fashion thing, and then they bring up another poet. So by the time the poets and the models were done, then it was comedy night.
Oh,
so
it's already long.
It's all brothers, and so
of course,
everybody going up was horrible. And my arrogant ass, you know how we get, B, after you've been there for a while, your first 10, 15 years, you get arrogant. So my arrogant ass is I'm in the back thinking, man, I'm going to go up.
I'm going to kill him.
I'm going to go up because I'm headlining here this week. I'm going to go up. Yeah, I got this. I go to the host. I say, hey, man, I'm headlining here this week. He goes, yeah, oh, dude, you want to do some time? I'm like, yeah. So I go on stage. I get 1 minute in. They're just looking at me. And I start another joke. And this woman in the middle of the room, you hear, quack. I'm like, what? Who the fuck? Whack. And I look out at the audience. And this woman is sitting there like this. She's like, quack. Quack. She quacked me off the stage. I said, man, come get this goddamn microphone. And I walked off the stage.
How long were you up there?
Maybe less than 4 or 5 minutes.
And you went off that, man, you didn't put up a fight like, hold on, I got some more for you?
I was I was dying the slow flopping death of a fish out of water. And
I've been there.
And what happened? This is what was really messed up. I learned my lesson. B. So the next night is the first night of the regular club.
Right. When the white people show up.
No.
No.
The first night of the regular week was also sponsored by another black radio station.
So you had to put up with him again.
No, so what happens?
Two black nights.
Here's what happened. I went home that night and I went through everything I had and just started putting shit together.
Yes.
You know how we do that, right?
Yes.
Meanwhile,
with my black shit at?
Every black comic in town were either there or they heard about it.
Yes.
So that next night, we got a room full of people, but there's about 9 or 10 comics sitting in the back of the room because they're thinking if he falls on his face, we can jump up there, save the night.
Right.
And hey man, I don't brag much, B, but I tell you this. I had a good set because you had a good show when black people are buying your CDs.
Bingo, man! And it's the greatest feeling in the world. But you know what, though?
After that show, they bought CDs, and I was like, "Whew!" And this brother walked up and said, "Man, that was all right. I was here last night. I saw what happened."
And the thing about that, this is one of those things, honestly, that it's one of the few, like I said, one of the things that you almost got to be black to understand that, because what happens, you get caught out, like, okay, like you do the mainstream rooms and you get in your last, okay, I'm good. And then, this, especially back in those days, and then you had that urban night and you come up with that corny shit and they're looking at you like, what? And then you go back to the drawing board. Like I said, you go, okay, let me get my black shit. And you look at it, you go, okay, and then I'm ready. And you get that. And you remember when the Comedy Zone had their urban rooms? And I swear to God, man, and I'm not gonna lie, I remember like, I come from mainstream, and then they only had a weekend. It was a Friday and Saturdays, and I was in the South. And I remember, man, I would always struggle on the first night. And then once I got that rhythm, I was good. And I did back-to-back weekends. And I'm not gonna lie, I got to the point where I wasn't scared of black crowds. I was like, yeah, come on, bring it. I got that rhythm. And then I don't know what happened. I started doing mainstreams again. And I think I went from like North Carolina to Iowa. And you can't bring that urban to Iowa. So it's like, and then I went back to the mainstream. But man, in a way, it was kind of better for me.
You weren't fake about it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I've seen brothers that I was in North Carolina. And it was an urban night for Comedy Zone. And you've seen this shit, man. I'm talking to this brother backstage, and he sounds like a damn accountant.
Yeah.
And then he goes up on stage, and he goes into the whole overblown thing. And I'm like, that ain't the same brother I was just talking to.
I'm glad you said that. There's another comic, and we both know him. I'm not going to call his name out. He's a good dude, but you talk to him, and it's like, okay, and then you get on stage, you go, what is this? But in their defense, it's not being comfortable with who you are and what you think. And like I said, I think the environment's better now because and that's why I love about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart walks that edge where he's not really an urban comic, but he keeps it urban enough where black people like him. But he's not really not that overblown urban where like he's like a Mike Epps, and not to diss Mike Epps, because Mike Epps is one of my favorites. But he is who I do too. I mean, I love what he does. He's one of the few people that makes me laugh extremely hard to where my stomach hurts. But he's not that. And I mean, Epps can go into those rooms in South Central or whatever, in the hardest, black rooms, and make them laugh. Where I'd be a trembling bitch. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Epps was wilding out on Instagram a few days ago.
About what?
Dude, he had on a robe and some goggles or something.
I think I seen that.
He was in his basement or whatever his rec room is, and he was playing old school R&B.
Yeah.
And he was roller skating around his
I saw that. That was kind of cool, actually. That was kind of cool. I like that.
I was like, damn.
I like that.
What the hell? Come on,
I like that. But you know what, though? But that's what I like what we did, because we had the black people that came out who, and it's so hard to explain to anybody, black or white or Mexican or whatever, is that, hey, man, we're comics. We just happen to be black. And so I don't know what you're expecting. And Billy would say it too. I don't know if it's hard to, what you guys were expecting from us. Would we smell like weed? Would you get the urban references? And that's the truth. And we were just being who we were. But what I loved was the black people that got it. The ones that were like us, who we're happy to be black and this and that, but we're not really, urban. We're not really. We didn't come up with roaches in our house. We didn't come up with like babies, daddies. My mom and dad were great parents. I had a mom and a dad, and they both worked. If I had a B+ on a B- on my report card, I had some explaining to do. So, and we weren't shunning like urban or ghetto comics, whatever. We weren't shunning. It was just we were saying, hey, this is who we are. And I think some people. I remember Lavelle Crawford had a look on his face, kind of like, hey, yeah. I remember it was at what's that? It's in LA on Pico. I forget the name of the room. Comedy Union. I remember he was at the door and I was like, hey, what's up, Lavelle? And there's another dude standing next to me. He goes, yeah, man, he's in a group, and he kind of had a face like, and I didn't want to call him out on it, but I knew that face. That's that face like, yeah, these dudes do this, this sellout. I mean, I'm just saying what I thought he was saying. I'm just trying to interpret it. I knew that face. And it made me mad back in the day, but it was like, listen, not everybody can be, this type of comic.
The one thing we can be proud of is I think Paul Mooney said, I don't think people are ready for what you brothers want to bring.
He said it about us?
About us.
He did?
I think he said that. Yeah, because I know somebody asked him about the idea of it, and I don't think people are ready for what these brothers are going to bring.
And to be honest,
if we got Mooney's approval, I got no problem with what anybody else got to say.
Well, to be completely honest, I really think, and I'm not trying to, I just think we were ahead of our time a little bit, and I think. And who knows, but I think everybody say piggybacked. But if you look at it now, remember there was a little tour called the Black Renaissance Comedy, whatever it was.
Yeah, there's a bunch of tours that are out now
like that. And when I see guys that kind of did what we did, I mean, I kind of feel like Chappelle did with Key and Peele. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing my show in a way, but it's great and I love it. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't have that anxiety in my heart when I used to do like all black rooms. I just remember, man, and I'm gonna call him out, and I don't mean to call him, but I don't think he'd anyway. So
you don't have to call him out. You can tell me later.
It was me. I'll tell you. It was me. I think Cleveland Jackson, and we were opening up for what's his name? Who has the radio show in Alabama? What's his name?
No, not Dio.
Ricky Smiley. Okay.
Ricky Smiley.
And no. It was Eddie Griffin. And he brings a whole different audience. So it was me, Eddie.
Yeah,
so it was me. And I remember I went up and I did okay. But I remember Cleveland. Cleveland's a funny dude. I remember Cleveland, and I swear to God, I saw this. I literally saw him shrink on stage because his jokes would be here, and he's a great writer, but I literally saw him shrink, and I go, oh man. And I remember this story, and I'm gonna call him out, and I hope I have him on the show. We can laugh about it. But I had a friend, he called me, he goes, hey, B. He goes, man, I'm not that kind of comic, and I'm here. He was in Alabama. He was at Stardome. He goes, man, I'm not really an urban comic. And so the opener goes up, he does all this stuff, and I'm not really like that. Everybody's laughing. So I go up and I do everything, all my clothes and stuff up front, and they're just looking at me, and they kind of start booing me. I just got off stage, and I go, man, sometimes you just got to be. I go, where you at now? He goes, I'm still in the club. They ain't going to pay me. And I just started laughing, and I started laughing. I go, where you at now? You at the hotel? He goes, no, I'm still at the club. He goes, I'm waiting. They say they're not going to pay me. And I laughed, and I mean, because I've been there before, but I'm sorry, but I just had to laugh. And to this, I don't want to call his name, that's my dude, but man, I laughed so hard.
It's rough, man.
I've been there, but you know what, though? It makes you a stronger comic, and it makes me now, like, when a black crowd comes, I'm like, okay, let's bring it. Let's see what happens, because then you're gonna work a different muscle.
You're fearless now, man. You fearless.
I don't know about fearless. I mean,
no, you do, man. Because plus you started working ships too, and working the line that because I work for a few lines. You guys work for the one line, and we all work for that same line. But those crowds that come in for that one, you got to be ready for anything they throw at you. So we became even more Ninja comics after those runs.
Okay, but let me ask you this then. Okay, you see it. You're in the game like I am, and we both still love comedy even after all these years. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you respond to all, it's all the comics that work the clubs and maybe a little bit, I mean, I don't know who's who. I mean, other than your top, I'm going to say top 5. After that, who really sells out? But they always dog comics that do cruise ships. I mean, they always, oh, you're a ship comic. And they dog us out. Like, I remember Louis C.K. being on Leno saying, he basically was talking shit about being a ship comic. And, Bill Burr has a thing about all the cruise ship, just people.
He wants to strafe them, sink them and then go through them and strafe them.
Yeah, okay, so how do you respond to that? I mean, when people talk shit about being cruise ship comics? Or
Dude,
comics.
All I know is that when I started doing ships, there was a lot of that talk.
Right.
A few years after I was doing ships, those same guys were in my email box, or either calling me or either cornering me at the clubs, asking me, how do I get on the ships?
But that talk is still there, though. I mean, you go to Twitter. I read in Twitter like somebody they're talking about when a certain line was going to start up in August, and this guy goes, they're talking about the buffets and talking about the comics, and I was just like, you know what, man? If you have a level of success, good for you. I'm happy for you as a comic and professionally, good for you. But man, don't sit there and shit on the rest of us. Be like Tom Brady going, hey, Dak Prescott, you suck. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, sorry I don't have 6 rings. My bad.
Hey, man. Those same guys would take that gig in a heartbeat.
I mean,
if they're not selling the clubs,
yeah,
especially after this whole coronavirus thing, yeah, man, they'll take it to go.
Okay.
But I got no problem with those guys. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I know what I do on the ships. I know what I've seen other people do. I've seen some of the best stand-ups, some of the best variety acts I've ever seen in my life on the ships.
Okay, well,
and so I'm not even, these guys have, some of these guys that talk this shit, they have 1/4 of the talent that some of the guys that have been on the ships right now.
Okay, here's something. Here's something I'm gonna ask you, man, in kind of relation to that. And here's what I respect about you the most. Like I said, you do this job for so long, you get to that kind of like, I don't know about you, if you ever reach that depression state. But here's what I love about you is, and everybody agrees, is that if you didn't know better, you act like you're a 4th-year comic in the sense of how you push it. Like, it's easy to get lazy. You come off, you work a cruise ship. You've been around for a while, so you make good money. Okay, you can come home and sit on your ass and do whatever, but instead, you'll come off, say, on a Wednesday, and then you'll be at your local club at Comedy Works in Denver, which is where you are, Comedy Works in Denver, and you'll be at working a loony bin.
I go to the open mics.
You go open mic, that's what I'm saying. You're 30 years in the game.
Workout rooms.
You're 30 years in the game and you still do that, and that's what people don't understand about. And so I'm gonna ask you, man, what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated to do that? Because it's easy to get in that kind of doldrum.
Well, it's the same thing that me and you always trade notes about this. As soon as a special comes out, either you'll hear from me or I'll hear from you.
Yes.
Say, hey, did you see this one? Did you see that one?
Yeah.
And we trade notes about it because I'm still a fan.
Yes.
I'm still a fan.
Yes.
There's guys. I watch these young guys, and they love stand-up, but they don't love stand-up.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they just, I want to drink, I'm going to hang out with my friends, I want to smoke some weed. Dude, I still go, when we were in, I would go to the club just to watch, because I never believed that old adage. People always say, oh, you got to get on stage as much as you can. I'm like, no, sometimes your ass needs to sit down
and watch.
Watch.
Because even a first-time open mic or mic, even they'll have a gym in there. You go, oh, or it'll spark something. You like, or like, say, not stealing his joke, but it'll go like, oh, you know what? Maybe I need to look at my joke from this angle, whatever. You could always learn. You could always learn.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there. You just said it. Always learn.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of these guys, especially when the Me Too stuff started happening, and the whole LGBTQ, all that stuff happened. A lot of guys were still telling certain jokes that they've been telling for 20 years.
Yes.
And then they realize that they never realize that the shit they're doing now doesn't fly.
It's antiquated
with the sensibilities.
Yes, it's like watching old movies before. I mean, I'm a firm believer that they have somebody goes through and erases all those scenes. But it's like watching old movies when they have scenes you go, ooh, you know, right in the environment now, like I don't know. And there's jokes you go, I might have to put this one away because it's not gonna fly now. And it's good because it you know, it means you got to write again, which is a good thing. If you, I mean, your act should be evolving. I mean, you watched the Louis C.K. special like I did.
But that's the problem. They don't take that. If you don't sit down and watch some, especially these young guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some guys, especially here in Denver. You know how much of a beast of a scene this is.
Yeah.
There's some guys here where there's a step, right? This is comedy.
Yeah.
Right. And every now and then, like that, you know, it'll just it's a stutter step,
right?
And then everybody else has to catch up,
right?
So you got these guys, they're just still here.
Yes,
but comedy's over here now.
Yes,
comedy's way over here now, and you're still doing some of these fucking beat down references and the old tropes and. You've
got to evolve. It's like anything else in life. You got to evolve, man. You got to roll with the changes. Yeah. I mean, you be the same central person. I mean, it's like look at Attell. Attell is still one of the greatest in the business, and he's just still funny. And to ask you, okay, how often do you write, and how long do you write?
Dude, I go through spurts.
Right.
I go through spurts, which my problem is that I don't have the dedication that like Seinfeld and Chris Rock and some of those guys have. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we can, but it's not that much of a problem because we can still get to that. All it is just a matter of going, you know what? I need to pick up this book. I need to start reading. I need to start putting stuff in this book.
Putting it together.
Right? And so, you know, I can look through this now, man, and the dates are in here.
Do you go old school? Do you go old school and write longhand?
Well, I still put stuff on the phone. I'll make notes, but I still feel, and you probably feel the same way, there's a connection between this.
Yes.
And this and this. There's still a connection for me.
Yes.
So I like to write it out longhand. I can look at it on the screen, but
when you write out longhand, there's something about that makes me laugh to myself. When you write something, the brain works different. You know, when I write long, and I remember I apologized to you because I remember that one time we were working together on a ship, and remember you had the subject matter on yellow notepad. And you put it on the speakers, on the monitors on stage. And I was like, what are you doing? You're like, fuck you, mind your business. And I said, all right, man. And then now I'm going, you know what? That was kind of brilliant. Because I don't know how many times I've wanted to get to some stuff. And I go over my notes before I go on stage, but I'll forget it while I'm on stage. And I go, and now looking back, I go, I apologize because that was brilliant because you got to them. You got to those jokes.
My thing was like every show, I wanted at least one new joke.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You definitely should have one new joke. You got to keep you interested.
So I'm like rolling through it, and everything's. I remember I had it was a 3 thing of, it was like a piece of cardboard,
right?
And I had put like little stickers on there so I could write my set list out, sit it up there, and then I would put it up on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never trusted anybody to do it for me.
Yes, you got to do that.
I knew. But I would always have like, you know, here's tried and true, new joke, tried and true.
And that's
I always and that's another good thing too. That's the reason why I'm glad I recorded all those shows, because now I can go back through all these tapes.
You record everything.
Yeah.
I think I saw you on the grassy knoll. I think I saw you film Who Actually Killed Kennedy.
I was on the other knoll.
Oh, okay. Which knoll was that?
I didn't get to see the Kennedy thing.
Well,
I saw Kennedy when he went by.
Did he wave?
And I remember saying to this brother that was there, I said, man, this is a fucking stupid ass idea, man. You shouldn't be out here like that. Next thing you know, everybody went crazy.
Next thing you know,
yeah.
should have went with the hard top. Should have went with the hard top and the tinted windows. But hey, who am I? Well,
who am I to know?
But hey, before we get out here, man, I want to ask you right now because I know you're gonna give me a good one. Okay, give me your overall top 5 of all time, and then your top 5 right now.
Man, top 5 of all time.
Top 5.
Comedians?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, dude, that's like an ever evolving list. I mean, let's see. Richard Pryor.
Number 1. Okay.
George Carlin.
Okay.
Bill Cosby.
That's 3.
Don Rickles.
4.
Man, the toss up. There's a toss up on 5 for me. Probably Joan Rivers and Dick Gregory.
Okay. Nice. Okay, how about right now?
Right now, oh man, Chappelle.
Okay.
Chris Rock.
Okay.
Bill Burr. Man.
That's 3. Give me 2.
Some more.
Okay.
Some more. I love some more. It's just for how many more I got left?
You got 1 more.
So what I name? I named Chappelle, Bill Burr.
Superb. Some more. Some more. Bill Burr, Chappelle, Burr. So.
Bill Burr, Chappelle, Bill Moore. Man, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. So I think 1 more.
Man, oh wow. Maybe there's a young guy I like, man. It wasn't like stand up as far as we do it, but it was one of the strongest specials I'd ever seen.
Oh, which one?
Bo Burnham, Make Happy.
Okay, I like Bo. Bo's different. I like Bo. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It was different. It was.
My favorite Bo Burnham joke was when he, not the last special, but the special before that, he goes, you know what? A lot of comics hate me, and I'm going to do my impression of every club comic. And he goes, so my wife says, and then that was it. Man, I thought that was great. Man, I thought that was funny. Because, he's different, but yeah, man, I like that list. But
the light show that he did, the way everything was so well synced.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really a stand-up piece, as more it was a theater piece.
No Louis C.K.?
So I love Louis C.K.
Okay.
I love Louis C.K.
Okay.
And one of his best bits ever, man, was when he's taking the family on vacation. Remember that?
Oh, that's
he puts everybody in the car and he's doing all this stuff, and then he gets them in the car and he walks around the back of the car and he gets into his seat and he goes, "That was my vacation." That was my vacation.
That's what I love about and I could talk comedy with you all day, man. This could be a part 2, literally, because we could go all day, and that's what I love about you. Like you said,
we could do it again in a few weeks, and we can just do road stories. Man, I got some great road stories.
Oh, that's what we should have done the first. Oh, we both. I forgot you. I forgot what you saw that I did.
Alonzo Bolton.
I forget. Remember us?
I got all this stuff.
Remember the sellout when we did Indianapolis and the parking lot, and remember that? And the girl, you were like, "All right, babe, do you do you?" You remember that? I mean, we don't go into detail, but you remember that? Do you remember that?
I remember you would always disappear. I remember that. I remember we were in Denver, and we were at a club, and all of a sudden, all I hear is "All right, guys, I'm out." And I looked up, and you were gone. You just
I'm a Houdini.
You would just disappear.
I don't believe in saying bye. I just leave, man. I just leave. You know, why make a big thing out of it? Just leave. You know. But man,
we got to do road stories, man. Because I tell you, man, I got Mitch Hedberg stories, Alonzo Bolton, Sinbad.
I'm gonna have you back on again.
I got some great stories, man. And
I'll have you back on.
I have to just put those in and just put them out online, just especially some of those wild. We had some wild stories. We had some wild times. The the very first time we did the Sellout Comedy Tour.
Man, this definitely
works in Denver.
This is definitely a part two.
That week was bananas.
Yeah,
when we knew we had something.
That's when we. Oh man, we got. You know what? We got to come back. We'll do a part two. I don't know when. We'll do a part two and talk. But man, anything you want to plug before we get off? Anything you want to plug?
Hey man, just everybody. If you just go by my my Instagram page, Lewis Johnson Comedy. Everything is on there.
No Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, well, my Twitter is a little angry because my Twitter's all about
I know
about Trump. So don't go to my Twitter.
Yeah, you might get your feelings hurt.
Just go to my Instagram is all my clips are there.
Okay.
My Facebook page and my Instagram is the same.
No YouTube channel.
Lewis Johnson Comedy.
No YouTube channel.
I got YouTube channel too, but I'm redoing all of the videos now.
Okay.
We got time.
Yeah.
I can redo all. I can rebrand all my videos.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ask Wyatt about branding.
Oh yeah, he's about to tell me when we get off the air. Trust me, he's gonna tell me about that.
Because be sure to hit him to branding.
Well, he knows all about branding. He's gonna get me investing in branding and all of everything. I might change my name after I talk to you, Lou. You never know. You go. I think B.T is definitely an adolescent name. I think you should grow up and go with your real name. Thanks, Wyatt. No problem, B.T. All right, man.
Yeah, I was about to say your real name, but I don't want you to come
don't
to
do
the
that.
screen.
Yeah, I would. Trust me, I would. I trust me, I would. Man, Lou, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, you know how I feel about you, and I've always, you don't get the props you deserve for being one. I mean, you are one of the best that's still in the business, still doing it, and with the love and the passion, and that's what I love about you, and that's why I had you on, man. And not to let our business, but I apologize to you for what went down, and I stand by that. I was wrong. So, yeah, man, thank you for coming on this. I appreciate you. I love you like a brother, Lou. I mean that.
Man, all love, man.
All love, Lou.
Man.
So thank you from doing my show with Tales from a Gemini. I appreciate it, Lou. I will holler at you later, partner.
Respect, brother.
Respect, brother. And thank you guys for watching Tales from a Gemini. I appreciate you guys. And I guess I will talk to you whenever. Bye.